Hey, y'all. Today we're talking about live streaming. And my guest, my very special guest, is DJ Ronnie Ron. Yes, my good friend who produces this show, DJ Ronnie Ron. So stick around. It's going to be fun. Welcome to the Christian Musicpreneur Podcast, where we provide tips, tools, techniques, and resources to help you grow your ministry. I'm your host, Simone Henry, a business coach and mentor for independent Christian recording artists. Hey, welcome back to the Christian Musicpreneur Podcast. I was about to say the Christian Jukebox. That was a while.
Yeah, that was.
Right, but you knew us back then too. Me and
Yeah.
Kevin.
Yes, Kevin James. Oh yeah.
We did. So we had a digital download store, and then we also had the radio station, CJB Radio.
Yes,
And
awesome station back in the day, most definitely.
Yes. So what I wanted to talk about today, and I see that you are like all over Facebook just about every day doing a podcast of some sort. You know,
Oh, really?
You've got Critical Dialogue, you're doing this show, you're doing a sound session. Did you do a weekly top 10 at one point?
Yeah, I did that, and I'll eventually be bringing that back. Just just organizing some things. So, I'm enjoying this journey, this process.
Yeah. What other shows have you done? So you've done, and of course, Music Industry Makeover. You know, that's the show that we started together. So, and you've been doing your thing, plus a day job, plus, your DJ gig that you do, right? And Are you still working with any radio stations or
Yes,
no?
I'm still having several radio stations. One, AEG Radio Network, CG3, CG93 Radio. Let me see, WJLN and things. It's too many to name now, but it just radio has always been in my blood, and you know what? Hey, he's always going to be there, and so I'm looking forward to some other great things of just going to the next level, and then branching off into podcasts. I really enjoy this. So
Yeah, awesome. How did you get into radio anyway?
yeah.
Do you
Well,
remember how
I
you
got
got
into
into it?
radio because back in high school,
Mm-hmm.
high school, I aspired to be one radio DJ, and so then I had it was this local DJ down in Orlando. He was doing the gospel skate night down there, and so his name is Willie Clark, and so I just asked him. We just went up to him. Hey, look, I said, I'm going to school for broadcasting, and so I was just wondering if can you allow me to come just watch what you're doing up there at WHOO. It's called 990 AM, and he said, yeah, sure, come on, and I guess the rest is history. I was working the board, doing things, and wow, hey, it is what it is.
And we're on from there. Okay. So what got you? So podcasting is relatively new for you, right? I know some people they think that podcasting isn't worth it and they should just stick to radio and they just don't understand the whole podcasting thing. But what got you into it and what do you like about podcasting versus radio or are they both kind of the same to you?
That's an interesting question. I kind of think they're similar or so. How I got into podcasting was just, I guess, seeing others do it, and then just wanting to just try it out, and then just seeing how much I love it, and I'm just like, okay, great, wow, man, hey, this is cool right here, and then just doing having the different amenities and other functions that go with it. Using StreamYard when I was introduced to that because I was using another software called BeLive, and so that's actually how I got started. But pretty much coming here, I was just like, man, this is definitely worth for us, opening up other doors for me, and I enjoy talking to the guests and also with the videos. So it also allows me to do something that I wanted to do on I guess terrestrial television. I could just do it online, and it's a whole lot cheaper. So, but yeah, and now I guess just the rest is history. Like you say, you see me doing pretty much almost every day on social media, huh?
Yeah, man. I was like, when when does he sleep? Because like I see him all the time, like every day he's out there doing one show or another, which is really pretty cool. So when I
Uh-huh.
wanted to reboot my podcast,
Hmm.
I decided to say, let's go to the podcast guy, right? Because
Right.
you are super consistent. You are out
Hmm.
there just about every day,
Hmm.
without fail, building up your audience, letting people see you, just, and all the different topics, right? So you're not, doing shows just about music.
Right.
You're also talking to entrepreneurs about their businesses. You're talking to
Hmm.
authors.
Authors.
You're talking to pastors and getting deep
Hmm.
into some doctrine on critical dialogue. You guys go deep. So I
Yeah.
think that's really pretty awesome.
Thank you.
So
Yes.
when I decided to reboot, I said, well, let me go to somebody who knows what he's doing and is going to allow me to just show up and talk. And that's what I wanted, because it's hard to stay consistent with it when
Hmm.
there's all this other background stuff that has to be done.
Right.
So, and you told me a while back, so just let me do your show.
Hey, yeah, and it's funny you should mention that because that's a service with Music Industry Makeover or Music Industry Networks. That's the company now. It's just that we offer that to where, hey, a person just show up and talk, do your content. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause a lot of people don't want to deal with the technical aspect of it. So it's just like, okay, hey, here, let's make this available, and that's what most people want to do. So
Yeah,
yeah, um, yeah, we just want to be in as possible because everybody has a story, everybody has content, and so yeah, folks need to hear what it is that you are presenting out there to the world, and that's what we do to make it happen.
absolutely. That's fantastic. So I did want to make sure that I covered a few things, because when we're talking about, because this show is really to talk to artists um, about helping them with their music ministries and
Right,
helping them to move forward. And one of the things that I believe, especially in this day and age, and especially during the pandemic, that artists need to be able to shift to is to do live streaming, and to build up an audience using live streaming, and to also bring in an income using live streaming. So
right,
I
most
have
definitely.
I have actually heard of artists who are making a living really just by live streaming.
Wow,
It's that
wow,
it's that consistency and good content and connecting with the audience. So one of the things that I have been seeing from a lot of our gospel artists is that, like, during the pandemic, one of the things that they've been doing is that, okay, well, I need to shift to online, right? So I need to start live streaming.
right,
And so what they've done is that they've taken their concert concept
right,
and they brought that online. And the thing is, you're in a different venue and it's a little bit different now. You can't just set up
mhm,
a camera and be on a stage like you were in a live venue,
right,
and and then put that on social media. The It's different on social media. People are here to connect, people are here to interact with other people.
correct, correct,
And so if you're on a stage and you're far away, people can't really reach out and touch you, so to speak.
correct.
It's a little bit different. There's this one artist I was working with, and he's been doing a weekly show,
Hmm.
and he's gotten good viewership.
Right.
So, and I think that's come out of his consistency, just doing it every week without fail at the same time.
Hmm.
But there are some flaws that I saw. I'm looking at it and I'm turned off.
Mhm.
because I can't see his face.
Hmm.
He stood up a mic. He's got this probably like a 6 foot banner. You know how you take the
Yeah.
banners to the conferences and you stand it
Right.
up
Have
beside
this.
your table.
Right.
Um, so he had the 6 foot banner, and he wanted the entire banner to be shown in view, in the camera view.
Hmm.
So I feel like he put more importance on the banner than on him as the
Y-
artist,
Yeah, I
right?
think it. Yeah, because I kind of feel that's where you were going because there was no connectivity there. It's just like,
Yeah,
okay, you know.
yeah. So
Mhm.
in order to get this 6 foot banner into the view of the camera, he had to put the camera further back, and while he's standing in front of the banner, he it was really a full length, and he got his whole body into the shot. So the problem with that was
Mhm.
it put him in the darkness. He was in darkness basically. So it was the shadow, the banner, and he is singing his songs, he is doing his thing in darkness. And I don't think that really translates that well on social media, right? Where people are trying to connect with each other, right?
Mm.
I can't connect with you if I can't see your
Right.
face. um,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
that's one of the things I was telling him to do, like lose the banner, bring the camera closer, bring light your face, right? Let us see you. Um, because as an independent artist, you're not this aloof, multi-million dollar superstar where nobody can come close to you and you've got 1,000,001 bodyguards all surrounding you and all of that. No, you really need to get more up close with people in order to connect with them, um, to keep them engaged and to
Right.
keep them coming back, you know? So that was,
I wonder.
and go ahead.
No, I definitely want to interject on that for us. I think that's the illusion that a lot of artists get to where, hey, I'm this quote unquote superstar per se. May not say it as that, but their actions
Mhm.
interpret that. And so that's why they're always getting the same results and not getting that interaction or that connectivity with the potential audience. Because again, I guess they're looking at how the quote unquote bigger name stars do it. And again, you're not ready for that level yet because nobody really knows you at this point. So that's
Right, right. So then we really need to pay attention to how we connect one on one and or one on many with our fans. See, my whole and people who have listened to me for any length of time, they know that I'm all about building up your fan base, right? In order to do that, and you have to engage with people.
right.
And so
Right.
you do have to do the things that are going to connect with people and bring them closer to you into your world. As an independent artist, that aloofness of the superstars doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No,
Um,
no, exactly. It does not work. And that's where we have to change our mindset. Artists have to change their mindset. Okay, this is where I am. All right. I understand where
yeah.
you're trying to go, but the reality is that this is where you are. So you have to operate according to as such.
Operate where you are.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, um, you've been live streaming for a while now. What is some good advice that you have that you can give to artists to help them um, to engage with their audiences and to just, to make it a success with this whole live streaming thing?
Well, the main thing, and you said it earlier, is about being consistent with picking a time or a day or so that you could be consistent with it. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to stay on long. Either 10 minutes or so, or just 5 minutes. In and out. But you're being consistent with that, and then as you continue to get more comfortable camera and building with your audience, then you'll notice how you'll probably have more content to even talk. But just starting out, you just pretty much want to, again, um, build engagement. Just talk about random things that's going on in the world. Again, even I mean, I was, stay away from politics or whatever, but just, just talk about, okay, hey, what do y'all think about this right here, or that's, or such and such, or hey, I just jumped in to say hi, how you doing, whatever, yeah, hey, this is who I am. I want to connect with, you all out there. So hey, say, and hey, just drop me a line or whatever, and it's make it generic as possible. That's the main
So
thing.
what made you comfortable to even start doing this?
Well, I
To
guess
start doing something like that,
me being in radio for over 30 years, and so it
yeah.
just, yeah, I guess it natural for me. And so I've had aspirations of wanting to be on television, but for the most part, it's like, hey, I felt more comfortable behind the microphone. But I just pretty much stepped out on faith, and I think I think the first podcast was basically critical dialogue with my partner Andrew Crawley, and because we said it a while back before we even started doing it, is that we was going to do a show together because I wanted to help get his message out there. So and then we didn't realize it was going to be through podcasting. Again, this was years ago when I lived in Greensboro area, and so
Mhm.
yeah, it just pretty much, I think it just kind of came natural with me being on radio, and I guess with my personality too. I guess.
I think one of the things that I have found for me is that um, actually stepping out and being, I guess, being brave, I would say, um, and remembering that to focus on the message that you have to share
Right.
rather than all your physical flaws. And I make sure I put on my makeup every time before I go in front of the camera. But if I absolutely had to, if I had to get in front of the camera with no makeup
Mhm.
on, I could do it, because it's about the message that you have to share,
Right.
and it's about the people on the other end who are receiving, right? I have something that they need to hear, so I need to go ahead and share it, regardless of my hangups and my
Right.
um, my insecurities and stuff like that, and doing it and just stepping out there, remembering that, and then just doing it has really helped me to be more confident. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Well,
without all the trappings of, oh, you got to have a background, and it's got to be, you got to have a nice speaker over here, and you've got to do this, that, and the other thing. You
right.
know, it doesn't. I think a lot of times artists will let perfect be the enemy of good.
That's good right there. Yeah,
You
that's a good
know,
saying. Yeah.
it doesn't have to be perfect. A lot of
Mm.
people will do this. A lot of the people I talked about who are doing this with their, who are making a living at live streaming, they started out with just their phones.
And that's, I was just about to go into that. Start where you're at. Like with this microphone, I didn't have this microphone when I first started. I just did it from my MacBook Pro. And actually just build from over there. For us with lighting, yeah, I just just use whatever lamp that I had until I was able to get some lighting. So yeah, it
Mhm.
just start where you're at. But I like what my good friend Derek Huggins said. That fear comes from the fear of not starting. It's
Yeah,
again, you have these great ideas, but you don't start it. And so yeah, start from
right.
where you're at. And like we said, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Or so, because yeah,
Absolutely.
because you never get it done.
And one other thing too that I wanted to mention is that, you know, when artists are putting the camera way over there so they can get their full body in, then it's hard to really interact with the audience that you're trying to reach, because
Right.
people are commenting and you're not really paying attention because you're over here, you're doing a show, right? You're doing a
Right.
show.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
and online or on social media, it's very difficult to do a show, yeah, and have that. have that translate to social media, right? Um, if I'm in the church and I'm in the pew and I'm watching you on stage, I know that you're not going to be talking to me. you know, if I turn to my
Right.
neighbor and go, "Oh wow, she's good," I know you're not going to be like, "Yeah, thank you, Simone." I know you're not going to do that. But on
Right.
social media, people expect that. And when you say people's name,
Yes.
when you say people's names, when you greet them, and you take a minute if they give you a donation, and you take a second to thank them, stuff like that. It brings a certain it raises like endorphins in your brain, right? It's like,
There
oh,
you
she said
go.
my name,
Right.
and people love that. People like that. That's part of connecting with your audience. So if you're standing way back here and you can't see the interactions that are happening as people are watching your program, then you're just the performer. You're not their friend. You're not this person that they can connect with,
That's
right?
very well said. Yes, that's because again, I think as it goes back to saying, it's all about having a mindset change, and that the realize the power of social media. When you're more personable, that's a easier way to build a fan base. Or so because that person may be so enthused with what you're doing that they'll go tell somebody, hey, look, you need to check this artist out right here. That's where that
Absolutely.
word of mouth spreads. But the fact is you have to be personable. You have to be friendly, as the Bible say. He who has friends must show himself friendly first. So,
Absolutely.
oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
So we talked about being engaging. Did we talk about being genuine?
That's key right there. All right. We have too many artists copying others out there and not being genuine to the craft that God is giving you. All right.
Mhm.
Again, as on my hip hop praise show, radio show, say, all flavors for the Savior. Again, God created everything. So, if that's your style, then go ahead on and deal with your style. Don't try to cross over to another style in hopes of monetary gain. And I think that's
Right.
where a lot of the misconception comes in, to where people want to definitely like, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do because they're more supportive over here in this
Mhm.
demographic. But like I say, if that's not you,
Yeah,
you're gonna get
we
the same
talked about
result.
that. And we talked about like how we know a
Hmm.
lot of artists who are trying to break into the whole CCM thing, but CCM isn't your thing, right? It's not going to work if you don't even like that music. So you're trying to create music in your style, but kind of shove it down the throats of CCM fans because that's where the money is, quote
Hmm.
unquote. That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you. So when it comes to doing the live streaming, you don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to
Mm-mm.
sound
Nope.
like Ron or me or anybody else, right? Talk how you talk, sound how you sound. If you accidentally burp, say excuse me and keep it moving, right? Like it doesn't have to be, show that you're a human being. It's okay to show that you're a human being. People like to know that you are a full person, and that you're not just this enigma out there that can't be touched, can't be approached. You know, when it comes to like your branding, that's where that authenticity really, really comes in. And so it should be something that you think about in your messaging, in the songs you decide to sing, in the colors you choose, the branding that you have. And it's also in how you carry yourself in front of a
Hmm.
camera, right? How you carry yourself on the stage. Be
Right.
be the person, be who you are, be who you are, because ultimately when you're trying to build up your fan base and you're trying to connect with people, it is very hard to maintain a facade
Right.
for any length of time.
Yes,
because
yes.
ultimately it's just a lie. Like, how long can a lie last? So if you're yourself, there's no
Man,
lies
it's
to
powerful
remember,
right
is
there.
there? It's just you. Just share you.
Nope.
Share that you're human, you know?
That's it.
So
That
let's talk
man.
about what about growth strategies? How do how do artists use this live streaming thing to grow their audience?
Well, definitely the first thing is consistency, as we talked about. Then
Mhm.
also good content. Okay. Again, don't copy anyone else. Just do what it comes natural to you because there's an audience that likes what you put out. Okay.
Right? As
Uh
Kiki Palmer would say, do you, boo?
do you boo exactly right. and and then also I would recommend a great software like this one here, StreamYard. For those who may have noticed, I've gone out, or gotten stuck or frozen a little bit, but the show is still going on. The quality in this, you definitely want a good streaming platform. And so I highly recommend this. Make the investment. You have to invest in yourself if you're trying to go somewhere. I've dealt with clients and had some former clients that they just would have rather just go ahead on and just do the live on Facebook lives or so, as opposed to going through this because maybe they want to pay the monthly fee. But it's just like, okay, again, it's about where you're trying to go. What vision and goals do you have for yourself? And so
Yeah.
um,
And just
mhm,
because it's free doesn't mean that the quality is, going to be as good as you want it to be, right? And just because it's free
exactly.
doesn't mean that that's all you're going to need. So,
Right.
you know,
Right.
I had I was talking to a friend this morning, and when we were kind of hashing back and forth, like what my next offer is going to be, how do I take Eshe in a new direction, whatever, what do I want to do? And I think I came up with my next offering, and I hadn't wanted to do it before, but I realized now that I can. I found this training program that teaches you how to do the kind of things that I want to do. And I'm realizing that there is nothing new under the sun, that
Nothing new.
anything that I want to do, somebody has already thought of it and somebody
Right.
has a tool for it. So this world that we're living in today, there is nothing that we can't do. There are tools for
Right.
everything that we want to do. So if you
Right.
want to do some live streaming and have good audio and actually make an income from it, it is possible. There are tools out there that you can use, and StreamYard is one of them. StreamYard is a very good one.
Mhm.
And when it comes to
Yeah.
your virtual tip jar, there's PayPal, there's Cash App, there's Venmo, there's all these
Yep.
different apps that you can use. So all really that is on you as the artist is to decide, this is what I'm going to do,
Right.
and then go out and do
Right.
it. Gather your tools together and do it. Make that commitment to yourself and to your audience to do it, because there is really nothing stopping you. There's really nothing stopping you.
Right. The only thing that's stopping you is you. And I believe again, changing your mindset because artists look at how artists were treated in the past to where every
Mhm.
other folks did things for them. All they did just come forth and sing whatever. Well, those days are pretty much gone. Unless you have much of a following or again, there's potential there with your music. But other than that, with the technology that's available to you, you need to take advantage of that because if not, you're going to still be stuck in the same rut 3 or 4 years from now and just wondering
Absolutely.
why, okay, why haven't I moved any further than where I am right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people, Rick Barker, he likes to say,
Oh, yeah.
now is the perfect time to
Yep.
be an independent
He's,
artist,
he sure
because
does.
you have all the tools available to you that the major labels are using in order to push their music and build up their fan bases and make a good living with the music. So there is really there's really no reason to want to go chasing after labels or chasing after managers if you're not there yet. The tools are available. They're here.
Right.
And so is the knowledge. So is the knowledge. So
And
I wanted to say
that's
thank you
it.
to you
That's
for
it.
being on the show today.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Yes. Hey, always enjoy it.
Fantastic. So before we go, I wanted to say if you are interested in having me help you build up your fan base so that you can make a living with your music ultimately, visit my website, eshemusic.com, and click the link at the top that says to submit music and schedule a call with me. And we can strategize what you should do next. Like, what is the next best thing that you should be doing
Right.
to move your music ministry forward? Thank you so much, Ron. And
Hey,
we will be
thank
back next
you.
week.
Oh yeah, next week definitely. Oh yes, again, thank you so much for having me. All right, yes, the Christian Musicpreneur podcast. Oh yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Christian Musicpreneur podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean a lot to me if you would like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Feel free to share your takeaways in the comment section below and join my free Facebook group, Christian Recording Artists Seeking Freedom. See you next time, and remember to take action and never give up.